Yum, yum!
Hello everyone, Steve White here for Pixel Fondue. So in this video I want to talk about the Substance Painter Live Link plugin. It's a plugin written by Emmanuel Flores. It's a plugin that allows you to have a live link connection between Substance Painter and some of the various 3D applications. Applications like Cinema 4D, 3ds Max, Maya, Blender, Modo, and Houdini, but other applications may be supported in the future. Alright, so you can find the Substance Painter Live Link plugin here at this Gumroad address. And you can read more about it here. There's some information here that will tell some of the various features and any known limitations that might apply to your particular application or whatever. So the plugin is $10, and I definitely recommend picking it up. It's just a great little app. Basically what this is going to be doing for you is as you're painting your textures in Substance Painter, you can just send these directly over to your 3D app. It's going to export your maps, and then send that directly into your 3D app, set up all your, textures onto your object, and, pretty much make it good to go to render. Okay, so let's go ahead and I will show you how to install this. So once you buy the plugin, you're going to get a little zipped folder. And once you unzip that, you're going to get this little folder here. It's called HH Painter. HH is called Hedgehog, stands for Hedgehog. It's just a little name he gave it. Once you open this folder up, you're going to have folders for all the various 3D applications in here. So I'm going to be using this with Modo. So what I'm going to do is to install this is I'm going to open up the Modo folder, and there's going to be a little Hedgehog Substance Painter Live Link plugin or folder here. I'm just going to go ahead and copy this. And now I'm going to go to Modo. I'm going to go to System, go to Open Content Folder, go to Kits, and I've already went ahead and pasted that in there. Go ahead and close that. And I'm going to go ahead and close Modo. And then when I open it back up, you're going to get these two little buttons in your toolbar. The green one is going to let you connect Modo to an external device, which will be Painter. And the red one will disconnect. Okay. So now to set it up, the bridge in Painter, we just go to the Substance Painter folder, and again you're going to have an HH Connect folder here, and go ahead and copy that. And now we're going to go to where is it? Documents, Logarithmic, Substance Painter, and Plugins, and you're going to paste that right in here. All right. And when you open up Painter, you're going to have that little icon show right up here. And basically you're going to have the little connection here. And then we're going to set all this up here when we connect the two applications together, which we'll do next. Okay, so I have an object loaded here in Modo that I'm going to be using to send over to Painter. And it has my UV set up. I'm using UDIMs, and I have 8 UDIM tiles. So I just went ahead and I exported this as an FBX file and then loaded it into Painter and went ahead and baked all my maps, and it came out with 8 texture sets for the 8 UDIM tiles. So let's go ahead and set up our connection now. So what I need to do first is in Modo, I'm going to go ahead and start my connection. So I'm going to click on the green button, and it's going to say set the connection port, and it says 8080. So I'm going to click OK. And it says Modo is ready to communicate with using the port 8080, and I'll just click OK. Alright, so it's set up now in Modo. So now in Painter, let's go ahead and enable the live link. So I'll just drag this over here, and I'll just pin that to the interface. And now let's go ahead and set the output path, which is where my texture maps are going to go. So I'm just going to click this, and I'm going to click my desktop, and I'm going to create a new folder. So I'm just going to name this Ceiling Turret Texture Maps, and I'll just select that folder. I am using UDIM, so I'll click that box. Software is Modo, port is 8080. Now the renderer is Modo, but I'm going to be using the UE4 shader, so I'll select the UE4. And for the resolution, I'll use 2K. And for the format, I'm going to use PNG. and OpenGL format for the normal maps. And I'm not going to be using the pack textures. If I was sending this to Unreal Engine, I'd probably be using the pack textures, but for this I'm not. And then for the main bit depth, 8 is fine. Normal bit depth, I'm going to use 16, and same for the height bit depth. All right, so that's good. So I'm just going to drag this over to my second monitor. So now let's go ahead and do a real quick texture job on this. So I'm just going to use some smart materials on this just for the sake of time. So let's go ahead and let's just use maybe this on our object, and we'll just drag a few of these on here. All right, and then maybe for the guards here, we'll just use a steel. Okay, and then maybe do just for something different, we'll just use this yellow machinery here on these parts, and then maybe do another kind of metal here on these parts. All right, and then for the wires, we'll just look for a rubber material. Let's see here, we'll use a rubber tire here. Just drag those on there. Okay, so not the greatest texture job in the world, but just for the sake of the example here, this will be fine. So okay, so we're ready to send this over to Modo. So I'm just going to drag this back over here, and now all I need to do is just click Send All. And you can see now here it's going to be giving you messages down here. It's going to give you any error messages it has. It's looking for an opacity channel. You know, it might be something in the smart material that I'm not making use of. But for the most part, everything will be sent over, and that should be appearing here in Modo in just a second here. So we'll just wait for that to show up. And it probably will ask you maybe for a normal map conversion if it's doing that. It might not have to, since I had already done it previously. But should just take a second for those textures to show up here. All right, so there we go. So now our objects are now in Modo. And if I do a real quick preview render, you can see that comes over now. All right, so if I just go back to Painter and you know, really quickly maybe say go up this top layer. Or actually, let's go to this guard layer here, and I'll add a paint layer, and let's just zoom in here, and we'll just draw a stroke along the guard here. And now I'll just come back over here, and I'll just say Send All, and then we'll just jump back over to Modo and just drag this out of the way, and then just in a few seconds, you know, that should then show up in Modo. And what that's doing basically is just it's just updating the texture maps that you've already saved to your disk on file. All right, and there you go. And that is the Substance Painter Live Link plugin.
Yum, yum!